We are back for the second time this week, AC. I'm Evan Heilman here with Reagan Sellers. First, we would like to congratulate the middle school for a successful mini-thon this past Saturday. $18,000 is a lot of money, and that will be added to the high school's total. High school students will have their chance next Friday night.
Today's show will include an inside look at last week's middle school thon talent show, sports with Morgan Bauer, and Emily Brightbill asked some teachers what the worst excuse they have ever gotten from a student was. But first, we will be showing you a recap of last week's middle school thon from Rachel Kramer. Rachel?
Hi, I'm Rachel from ACDN-TV here at the middle school thon, and I'm going to give you guys a glimpse of what went on. The day started off with some speeches from the high school thon committee members and a guest speaker, Laura Berry, who was a former Penn State grad. These speeches really helped to get everyone excited for the night. I got the chance to speak to middle school thon committee member Anella Mergudio to ask her how planning for the event went. So how has planning for today gone?
I think it's been it's going really well. As we planned it up to this point, we planned events that I think the students will enjoy.
All right. Do you think tonight's going to go well?
Yeah.
The students had many opportunities to participate in activities throughout the night, including escape room, Zumba, dodgeball, and volleyball. Throughout the night, the kids also danced along to the thon song.
I like courage, I like honesty, I like wisdom and strength. I like thon for the kids, stand and dance, FTK. I like yodeling in Walmart like that kid from Illinois.
Students who raised $200 earned VIP status. They had a taco bar for dinner, and they had the option of eating an ice cream sundae all while watching the Willy Wonka movie. The night ended with a dance in the gym right before the closing remarks. Middle school thon raised an outstanding total of exactly $18,000. Now that middle school thon has ended, all eyes are on high school thon, which takes place March 8th at 7 p.m. until March 9th at 7 a.m.
This weekend, the Oscars were held in Hollywood, but this year, the show didn't have a host to guide the show. Highlights included a Best Actor win from Rami Malek, the man who played Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, and a win for Best Picture to Green Book, a drama based on the Great Depression. Lady Gaga also won an Oscar for Best Song for Shallow, the song from A Star is Born. Speaking of that song, the performance of Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper set the internet on fire with the chemistry the two shared. Here's a clip of that sizzling performance.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
This past week, college superstar and Duke basketball player Zion Williamson, after only playing a minute in their game against North Carolina, injured his knee after his shoe ripped apart. At this point in time, Zion is predicted to be #1 overall in the 2019 NBA draft. He has the choice to stay out the rest of the season or to come back to Duke and finish the season with a risk of re-injury. Now, let's go to Emily Brightbill and find out the worst excuses teachers receive from students.
Mr. Rodensky, what is the worst excuse a student has told you to get out of doing homework?
You know, over the years, you hear all kinds of horrible excuses about why your assignment's not done. I mean, sick in bed with the flu, hospital for surgery, grandmother's funeral. I mean, she's not going to know you're not there. Look, the reality is when you've been doing this for a while, you hear some terrible, terrible excuses.
A pet dragon burned my homework.
I can't even say the worst excuse. I mean, I've had bad ones, but I don't know if
Okay, what is it? Name a bad one then.
Oh, I was up late. Oh, the best is wait. If it's on a computer, or they have to print it out, and they're like, "Oh, my printer ran out of ink."
Yeah.
That's the lamest one.
My computer died.
Yeah, no, like my printer ran out of ink. That's lame.
Thank you.
So, one student said that they didn't have any electricity. However, everybody else had electricity that night.
Maybe their power was out.
Maybe it wasn't.
The worst excuse I've ever been given is when the student came in on Tuesday, they told me they couldn't do their homework from the night before because they had to work, so they had to work on Monday. But the place they work on Monday is closed on Mondays at all times.
Okay.
So that didn't really work well.
The worst excuse I think I've ever gotten, a lot of people have actually used, especially the camera person, they say it's game day. They need to take it easy, which is embarrassing for an athlete to say that because they're supposed to be our top students here, and they try to use it as an excuse because it's game day about 8 hours later in the day that they're going to get tired in gym class.
You could have just added me.
Okay, so the worst excuse I've probably heard was they would open it up on Google Drive and say that it didn't save in their Google Drive when it automatically saves into their Google Drive, so they just didn't open it to begin with.
Oof.
Okay. Worst excuse. You said the worst excuse? There's so many, but the worst excuse would probably be, oh, I did arms yesterday at the gym, or I did legs yesterday at the gym, and that's their excuse for not being able to do it. So,
I was once told that they couldn't find any information on Valley Forge. When I typed it in, Google came up with 7 million websites in half a second.
I've had a student tell me that they couldn't have their homework in because they broke their wrist snowboarding.
Zoom in on Luke.
Do you want to share the worst excuse you've ever given a teacher?
Well, actually, one time I told Mrs. Brown that I got abducted by aliens and that I couldn't do my homework, and she believed me, and I got 100% on the homework. So yeah.
You still got a grade?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Okay.
She bought it, so try it.
Okay. Students recently met the $20,000 mark for Donor Drive, and the incentive awards was March Madness Party hosted by Mr. Long in a couple of weeks. So the following 5 people who raised money on Donor Drive were selected, and each person will get to invite 2 friends to get out of classes and watch the games and have pizza. These 5 people are Jack Carpenter, Mason Swigert, Morgan Bauer, Hannah Campbell, and Carlos Long. Congratulations. And now, here are the highlights from the Middle School Talent Show.
How do you guys feel? Good job. How do you feel?
Amazed, fun, relieved, anxiety.
How do you feel?
Good.
You guys think you guys won?
Yeah, I think we won.
Okay. How do you feel?
I'm shaking because I was so bad. Great! I feel so good. So good.
Build a wall. You guys think you guys are gonna win? So how do you feel about it?
Oh, I was really nervous.
You think you have a good chance?
Yeah.
All right. Go. Ella, how do you think Hope did?
Hope did amazing. She did not want to do an interview, but she's awesome. She's the best one here. She should win.
So how do you feel?
Nervous and shaking.
How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel?
We feel amazing. We just caught the dive. Let's go.
How do you guys feel?
Good. Yeah.
Good. Most of potato.
Do you guys think you won?
No. Yes. Yes. Yes.
This is all for today's show. We will be back in 2 weeks after the mini-thon. Be sure you start raising your money and get your VIP money in on Monday if you want to be considered a VIP.
And be on the lookout for the therapy dogs, Jack and Hunter, who will be in the building on Monday. Lucas Winslow will be featuring them in an upcoming segment in case you missed them. For ACDN-TV, I'm Reagan Sellers.
And I'm Evan Heilman.
Have a good
week,
weekend.
AC.
Daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do, Daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do, Daddy shark, do-do-do-do-do, Daddy shark.
Grandma shark, do-do-do-do-do, Grandma shark, do-do-do-do-do, Grandma shark, do-do-do-do-do, Grandma shark.
Grandpa shark, do-do-do-do-do, Grandpa shark, do-do-do-do-do, Grandpa shark, do-do-do-do-do, Grandpa shark. Let's go hunt, do-do-do-do-do, let's go hunt, do-do-do-do-do, let's go hunt, do-do-do-do-do, let's go hunt.
Run away, do-do-do-do-do, run away, do-do-do-do-do, run away, do-do-do-do-do, run away. Safe at last, do-do-do-do-do, safe at last, do-do-do-do-do, safe at last, do-do-do-do-do, safe at last.